Pikes Peak, America's mountain, provides the most magnificent and unique race course in the world. My dad started racing Pikes Peak in 1973 when I was 2 years old, and I have been on the mountain every year of my life to watch the race, and for the last 18 years I've been competing on Pikes Peak. Last year in 2010, we broke the world record by 6 seconds and yet still finished second place by just 7/100ths of a painful second. It was so disheartening to know that you've broken the record that had been there for 15 years and still were unable to win the race. So we were really passionate about bringing the Geico Chevrolet to the 2011 Pikes Peak Hill Climb to try and break the record again, but come home victorious. We went through tech inspection with absolutely no problems. The Geico Chevrolet was within all the rule guidelines and was safe and ready to go after they checked out the car. And we went into the first practice expecting great things, and right away we began to have clutch problems. We were able to make a couple of runs, but had to park the car and actually push it into the trailer because the clutch had burned up. And so the Geico team went straight to work, got it to the shop, pulled out the transmission, were able to replace the clutch, get the car ready for the second day of practice. On the second day of practice, the Geico Chevrolet was running really good. We were going very fast, and we could see that this was shaping up to be a great race. And then on the third day, we practiced and qualify on the bottom half of the mountain, and we were hoping to set a new qualifying record, but the dirt section of the road was very slippery, and so there was no records to be set in qualifying. Clint Baschultz won qualifying, Bobby Register was second place, I was third place, but the three of us were within 1.5 seconds of each other, which meant we were going to have an incredible race for the 2011 Pikes Peak Hill Climb. On Friday night before the race, we actually go downtown Colorado Springs with the race cars, where 20,000 plus fans show up, and there's lots of autograph signing and picture taking, and we let kids sit in the Geico Chevrolet. It's just a great time for the community to come out and support the race and support our Geico team. It was a great time to represent Geico and see the fans. It was a lot of fun as we prepared for the race on Sunday. Race day was very special because my dad was setting a new record on Pikes Peak, and that was he was going to compete for the 37th time, which was breaking Louis Unzer's record for the most times racing up Pikes Peak. So I was very proud of my dad, excited for him. My dad actually won the Pikes Peak Open Division and set a new propane record on the same day that he set that new all-time record for most times racing Pikes Peak. I was very proud of him. As I do every year, I actually open race day with a chapel service for the competitors, the teams and officials, and some spectators. We had a great chapel service. As we started the race, we were going to experience actually a very traumatic moment as Bobby Register, who qualified just ahead of me in the upper section of the mountain above timberline, he slid off the road at a very high speed and actually went down about 200 feet. Fortunately, Bobby was okay. On my run, I experienced some problems of my own. I was anticipating a great run, a fast run. My goal was to not make any mistakes but be very aggressive and run the car as hard as I've ever run, with that 7/100th of a second looming in my memory from the previous year. The Geico Chevrolet started out very strong. I wanted to be smooth, I wanted to be aggressive. I knew we had to be aggressive if we were going to beat Clint Baschultz. After halfway, I was having really the best run of my life, and about 3/4 of the way up, I was in over 100-mile-an-hour straightaway heading into a hairpin turn in a section that we call the W's, and I lost my brakes. The brake fluid had boiled, and that created air in the brake. So when I went to step on the brake to slow the car down for the hairpin turn, the pedal went nearly to the floor, and I actually had to spin the race car out to stop the car. Fortunately, we didn't go off the mountain, and we were able to continue going. But from that point on up, I had to drive a lot differently, as you can imagine. We were amazed. We actually broke last year's record by 11 seconds, but unfortunately that was still not going to be enough, and so we finished in second place yet again with the Geico Chevrolet. But overall, it was a great race. It's always fun to come down the mountain after the race, as the thousands of fans that are there watching the race, they'll kind of pile in on the side of the road there and give you high fives and cheer for you, and we had a great time coming down the mountain. And we are already looking forward to 2012 on July 8th, when we will have the 90th running of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, and we are hoping to put that Geico Chevrolet on top of the podium with a first place finish.